Next one we have the Toaster Lassie, the host of the Toaster Lassie, Charlie Methven. So he's farmed from Methven. I've tuned in there some lassies for honest men and bonny lassies. Mind you, when I lived in Methven, there were no lassies. So there you are. Now, Charlie was here last year. It scarred me for life. Last year, Charlie did Tamashanta and it was unforgettable. And so this year, we're going to have the Toaster Lassie. And I've heard Charlie speak before, so we're in for a treat. So can we have a great morning welcome here for Charlie Methven.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know, but when I first arrived in Malquidder, I was told there was 19 women sleeping on their own. So I don't know what happened at your time, but well, I was told that most of them just had one eye and the rest had one leg, and that most of them were over 70, but they were 19 sleeping on their own. But thanks very much, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, folks. I must say, I'm really privileged and honoured to be asked back again to this prestigious club. And so I thank you ever so much for that. You might not ask me back again after this. I'm not going to use this as a platform to slag the wife or tell cringy mother-in-law jokes. So I'm not going to tell you about what happened the other day when I ran over the mother-in-law with my tractor. I thought I'd plenty of room to get round the booter, but I just didn't think I had enough fuel. I'm not going to tell you that one, and I'm certainly not going to tell you how, when she does croak, we're going to put her in a hole 18 feet deep. Because deep down she's really nice. No, instead we're going to talk about, well, touch on her strengths, like ladies' strengths, and go into great discussion about her weaknesses. It's long been known, of course, that men do not understand women. Now, to try to begin to understand it, we really have to work out how the brain works. Now, I've been doing a wee bit of research into this, and it seems to me that a woman's brain is not dissimilar to a horse's brain. Now, I've been watching these videos that my wife has. She's into this natural horsemanship, this Pirelli stuff, like, you know, and they're going about this. What the horses have their own personalities, and they call it horsenality. Yeah, that's so funny. That's how we can maybe describe it as wifeinality, then, you know, because these horses, they've got, well, according to the natural horsemanship, I've watched loads of these videos, by the way. You know, I have to, but, well, I watch them because this Linda Pirelli, she's quite fit, actually. But anyway, they appear to have two sides to their brain, these horses, like, you know, and so you can maybe get a left brain introvert or a right brain extrovert, you know, depending on their personality. And so I think a woman's brain is fairly similar, because I'm sure they've got two sides as well. Left side's got nothing right in it, and the right side's got nothing left in it. So continuing my research, I did a survey recently in Stirling, and I asked 100 women there whether or not they were married. Now, 50% said yes, they were married, and 40% said no. The rest were don't knows. So out of that 40, that were left, I asked whether or not they were engaged. 50% said yes, they were engaged, and again 40% said the rest were working on it. Now, out of the 16 that were left, I asked whether or not they had a boyfriend. 93.75% said yes, they had a boyfriend. Right, so all you mathematical geniuses realise that there was one lady left. So she wasn't that bad either. So I asked her whether or not she would like to have dinner with me that evening. Her stomach said, yes, she would like to have dinner with me that evening. The rest of us said, piss off, you creep. Now, things that annoy women. Now, yeah, okay, there's the same old one with the lavatory seat being left up. I get annoyed when it's been left down. But I think the thing that annoys women most of all is when you're changing channels on the telly, eh? That really winds them up. And of course, we free view, we free sat and everything now on the Sky channels. Ah, seventh heaven for us men, eh? We can sit there flicking all night. And but it's got its downfall as well, because when you're flicking through these channels, I didn't realise there were so many cookery programmes. Like there's MasterChef, there's Junior MasterChef, there's Gordon's Kitchen Nightmare, there's Rick Steen, there's James Martin, Come Dine With Me, and that's only to name but a few. So it just makes the flicking even more intense. So the wife one night shouted to me, "Will you stop changing channels, you flicker?" Well, I thought that's what she said. So she left the room, she was getting annoyed with me, so I just kept flicking away, and then I came upon this channel unexpectedly. It was called Babe Station. Where this scantily clad young woman was lying there, and Pam was her name. Pam Sandwich. Another cookery programme. Just another slant on Jamie's 15-minute meals. So after a wee while I realised what this was all about. She was wanting me to play Gibby Abbey. Oh, you weren't listening? But I thought, oh no, this is terrible, like, you know. The young lady wasn't putting off, it was the music in the background, if you could call it that, it was terrible. And I thought, they need to do a bit of research, because that's just no getting the guys in the mood at all. I mean, what a fella wants is something like The Big Country playing in the background, or Indiana Jones, or a theme for James Bond, like Goldfinger or something, you know. If the wife catches you, it's a great shape. But my favourite would have to be Bonanza. Ding 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 ding. Now you remember Bonanza? Well, thank goodness for that, because I've got a nickname for my manhood. Call him Big Horse. Wife calls it Little Joe. Anyway, I think there's nothing better to boost a man's ego than to find nothing more rewarding than to help out a damsel in distress. And it was just the other day this came to me, because my neighbour called me and said that her neighbour over the other side was having a bit of trouble. So, of course, being a good Samaritan, I ran round, like, you know, and so I burst in the door, and here she was, standing on a chair, in the middle of the room with a light cord flex round about her neck and screaming and shouting. You can see she was upset. So I tried to help as much as I could, you know, and there she just stood there screaming and shouting and swearing. I couldn't get up in edgeways, so I just kicked the chair away. But it wasn't my lucky day, really. She landed right on top of me, and the cord broke, like, you know. And, well, she did my back, and God, it was horrendous. Pain was excruciating for days. And you know, when you go to your bed and you just can't get comfortable, no matter which way you lie, you know. And so I was lying, I was tossing and turning. I couldn't get, the only respite I could get was when I had one arm under the pillow and the other one was up the chimney. My head was in the bedside cabin. One leg out the bed and the other one was across my good lady. Of course, she being of decisive nature and not sure of my intentions, walloped me one. It was just about this time that the duck was sick. I didn't mind him bringing up a whole tin of chappie. He will insist on sleeping in my side of the bed. So by the time I got all this cleared up, that was time to rise and shine, and just then I heard the knock at the door, and I went to the door, and there was this old woman selling lucky white heather. My case comes up next Tuesday. Then there was a young lady that was keen to see the world, and she wanted to stow away in this boat, or she did stow away in this ship, leaving nobody. And so it was a couple of weeks before she was discovered. And so she was hauled up in front of the captain, and the captain was surprised to see what good condition she was in after 2 weeks. And she says, well, I have been getting help from the first mate. He's been keeping me fed and allowing me to use his quarters. And the captain says that, what did you have to offer him in return? Well, I had to let him take advantage of me. Well, he certainly has, he says, because he's on the Owen's Tobermory ferry. Now, women, I like to think of women, you know, as worldly persons, and I like to think that they're a wee bit like some cities of the world throughout her ages, like, you know. Like, for example, just to put you in the picture, in her late teens, I would like to say that she's maybe like Reykjavik in Iceland. Relatively unexplored, but surrounded by hot geezers. In her 20s, she could be like Beijing, adventurous, tries hard to be noticed. In her 30s, Las Vegas, fast, exciting, likes a gamble, but beginning to expand quite a bit. In her 40s, she'll be like Sydney, a bit demanding, and wants to come first every time. In her 50s, she'll be like Madras in India, warm, luxury, with an added touch of spice. Now, I wrote that thinking that, you know, that the wife would be here, but of course she's not. No, she's more like Brussels, full of wind, and likes to tell everybody else what to do. In her 60s, she'll be like Venice. Won the water pills and needs a punt whenever she goes. And in her 70s, she'll be like Kabul in Afghanistan. Everybody knows where it is, but nobody wants to go there. Apart from a few Americans still poking around. having a game of poker there the other night, and we're playing the cards. I just thought, you know, a deck of cards could, could give you an insight into married life. Like, you know, and, for example, when I see the ace, it reminds me of the first time I met my wife. It was at a Christmas party, and I met her outside the Gents' Loo. Actually, I was coming out and she was going in. And suddenly she held this sprig of mistletoe above my head, and she kissed me. So I kissed her back, because I certainly wasn't going to kiss her face. When I see the two, it reminds me of the times that we've had sex in the last 20 years. The 3, 4 and 5 reminds me of the hotel room that I spent my honeymoon in. It's absolute bliss, I can tell you. Even though the wife was at home, the 6 reminds me of our 6 children. Yeah, what about one? Anyway, the 7 days of the week I have to work to keep my wife in the way she wants. Yeah. The 8 and 9, the 89 number of Sky channels I can flick through in 30 seconds. The 10 reminds me of the 10 Commandments, but how there should be 11. Thou shalt not nag. The Jack reminds me, of course, of our youngest son, Jack. He was named after Jack the postman. He has got a hell of a resemblance to him. And we just had to call him Jack. And the Queen, of course, reminds me again of my good lady, who's on a diet just now. For 6 weeks, and all she's lost is her temper. It's this Cambridge diet thing, you know, and but I'm sure she's having an affair because she doesn't go to Cambridge at all. I know for a fact she goes to Dundee. Just to call it Dundee diet. It sounds better. But, well, she's so grumpy when she's dieting. You know, and it's just the other day where I was helping her prepare the tea, like, you know, and, oh, I should have heard what she said to me when all I wanted to know was where to jam the scones. The King, getting near the end, so we're all right. The King reminds me, of course, of our Bart, Larry Burns. Now, he kind of more or less sums up more or less what I've been saying with these few lines here. Let not woman e'er complain. Let not woman e'er complain of inconstancy in love. Let not woman e'er complain, fickle man is apt to rove. Look abroad through nature's range, nature's mighty law is change. Ladies, would it not be strange man should then a monster prove? Mark the winds and mark the skies, oceans ebb and oceans flow. Sun and moon but set to rise, round and round the seasons go. Why then ask of silly man to oppose great nature's plan? We'll be constant while we can. You can be no more, you know. Now I'll end up with a wee poem or more. If I've got it, really, it's here, unfortunately. The lassies, how it haps is I. To look at them, we'll never tire. You'll never find them in a mire up to their knees. There is nae doubt they were here, they were put on earth for us to please. We have their feelings, but don't us all. your daughter, wife, and even your mom. But young and old, they all look broad from men apart. But just before they leave the room, they always look smart. So. But life becomes a bit of a farce, and all that concerns them is the size of the bank book. From Aberdeen to the Stirling cars, you'll hear them say, "Does my bum look big in this?" You'll say, "Oh, way." But reassurance is what you need. "Does this look nice?" You'll hear them plead. "Aye, no hurry, make speed, we already should be there." But still, an hour later, what's she doing? Her blinking hair. But lads, is it not the case? The world would be a sadder place without the lassies to chase, as long as we're able. And he's somebody to talk to face, across the kitchen table. So gentlemen, please stand and raise your glasses.